The 50-30-20 rule sounds simple, but if you follow it blindly, it can keep you stuck. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for saving and investing. It's a starting point, not a wealth plan. Where it breaks down, for many beginners, 50% for needs isn't realistic. Rent alone can eat that up. And if your income is low, 20% might feel impossible. Practical example. If you make $3,000 a month, the rule says invest $600. If that's not realistic, saving $150–300 consistently beats failing at $600 and quitting. Better beginner solutions. Use this instead. Control fixed expenses first. Start investing 5 to 10%, not 20%. Increase your investing as income grows. Treat investing like a bill, not a leftover. Rules don't build wealth, systems do. Close. Use the 50-30-20 rule to start. Adjust it to actually win. 50-30-20. Guideline, not one size fits all. Housing breaks the rule. Start with 5 to 10% increase over time. Systems beat rules. The 50-30-20 rule is helpful until life gets expensive. Don't quit because the rule doesn't fit. Adjust it. Start smaller. Stay consistent. Save this. Make it work for your life. Why this works: acknowledges real cost of living pressure, removes guilt beginners feel when they fail, replaces rigid rules with flexible systems, keeps the focus on investing as wealth building. Von Myers Budgeting Basics. Investing for beginners. Wealth building. Von Myers Personal Finance. Heard of the 50-30-20 rule for budgeting? Spend 50% of your income on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. It sounds great, right? Until you actually try to do it. With rent soaring and groceries costing a fortune, that 50% for needs can feel more like 70% or even 80%. It's easy to feel defeated and just give up on budgeting altogether when the numbers do not add up. But wait. Don't quit because the rule doesn't fit your reality. The key isn't to follow it perfectly, it's to adapt it. If you can only save 5% or 10% right now, that's a huge win. The most important thing is consistency, not perfection. Start small, create a budget that actually works for your life, and build from there. You've got this. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a super popular budgeting method that you've probably heard of a million times, the 50-30-20 rule. The idea is simple. 50% of your after-tax income goes to your needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. It sounds perfect, right? It's straightforward, easy to remember, and for a lot of people, it's a fantastic starting point for getting their finances in order. But let's be real for a second. Have you ever tried to actually apply this rule and found yourself thinking, how on earth is this even possible? You're not alone. The 50-30-20 rule is a great guideline, but it was popularized in a different economic climate. Today, with the cost of living soaring, especially when it comes to housing, that neat 50% for needs can feel less like a guideline and more like a fantasy. Think about it. In many cities, rent or a mortgage payment alone can easily eat up 30, 40, or even 50% of someone's take-home pay. And that's before you even factor in other essentials like groceries, utilities, transportation to work, and insurance. Suddenly, your needs category isn't just at 50%, it's spilling over closer to 60 or even 70%. When that happens, the math just doesn't work anymore. Your wants and savings categories get squeezed until there's almost nothing left. This is where so many people get discouraged. They try to follow the rule, they fail, and they end up feeling like they're just bad with money. They might even give up on budgeting altogether, thinking, what's the point? This is the biggest danger of rigidly sticking to a rule that wasn't designed for your reality. You feel like a failure, when in reality, it's the one-size-fits-all rule that's failing you. So what's the solution? Do we just throw the whole idea of budgeting out the window? Absolutely not. The key isn't to quit, it's to adjust. The true power of the 50-30-20 rule isn't the specific percentages, it's the principle behind it. The idea of intentionally dividing your money into different categories to make sure you're covering your bases and building for the future. If 50-30-20 doesn't work for you, it's time to create your own rule. Forget the perfect percentages for a moment and start with your actual numbers. Track your spending for a month to see where your money is really going. You might find that your needs are closer to 65%. That's okay. It's not a moral failing, it's just your current financial reality. Once you know your baseline, you can create a new rule. Maybe for you, it's a 65-25-10 rule. 65% for needs, 25 for wants, and 10 for savings. Or maybe it's a 70-20-10 rule. The name doesn't matter. What matters is that it's realistic for your life right now. The goal isn't to perfectly match some arbitrary internet rule. The goal is to create a plan you can actually stick to. Let's say your needs are high. Your first step might be to look for ways to trim that category, but sometimes there's not much wiggle room. The next step is to adjust your expectations for the other categories. Maybe that 30% for wants isn't feasible. That doesn't mean you have zero fun. It just means you have to be more intentional with your spending on dining out, hobbies, and subscriptions. And what about savings? This is the one you can't afford to neglect even if the percentage is small. If 20% is impossible, don't throw your hands up. Can you do 10%? 5%? Even 1% is infinitely better than zero. Starting small and being consistent is far more powerful than aiming for a big, unrealistic number and never getting started. A small, consistent savings habit builds momentum. As your income grows or your expenses change, you can gradually increase that percentage. The most important takeaway is this: personal finance is personal. A budget is a tool to serve you, not a rigid prison to make you feel bad. If the 50-30-20 rule doesn't fit your life, don't quit. Adjust it. Rename it. Make it your own. The best budget is the one that you can actually follow consistently. Stay flexible, be kind to yourself, and focus on progress, not perfection. That's how you truly win with your money. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more practical financial tips. See you in the next one.